Now, guys, in Act 1, where do we go? To a middle-class house at 5 a.m. and a loser. Because Walt's in bed with his wife in a terrible, shabby little vinyl-papered bedroom. But it's not poor. Guys, Hollywood shows poor people really well. They show rich people really well. What they have trouble with are showing middle-class people as they really live. Walter and his wife Skylar are unsuccessful, but they're not poor. Walt sighs, he wakes up, he throws off the cover, his pajamas are clean, but they're synthetic and cheap. He exercises on this little Stairmaster that's broken. He doesn't give a crap about his life. And now, suddenly we see on the wall, in this really loser place, a plaque that says in 1985, Walt was gonna get a Nobel Prize for nuclear chemistry. What does that tell us? Remember I said that a hero is misusing his superpower at the beginning of the story. How is Walt misusing his superpower? We don't know yet. We know he's not using it here because he's such a loser. What happened to Walter? We want to know. Now, when we go to breakfast, there's the breakfast in the breakfast nook, and we meet his happily henpecked wife. What happens to a woman when the guy she's with is a failure? What does a woman do, usually, if she's with the guy? What does she do? Well, in this case, Skylar overmothers him. She's trying to do everything she can to help him out. She probably holds his hand while they watch self-improvement videos at night, hoping he's going to finally step up to the plate. But this is Walt's 50th birthday, by the way, and they also get really angry. She's had affairs. She's tried to leave him, but she can't. She's tied to the guy. She's going to be tied to him for 7 years. This is also his 50th birthday. And she gives him a plate full of soy bacon that spells out 50. And he looks at it and goes, "What is this stuff? It's not real." And she says, "It's soy bacon. You won't taste the difference." Everything about this scene shows us what? That he's a loser and she's trying to not be panicked and disappointed at what a loser he's turned out to be. She's also visibly pregnant. So the bacon is plastic. The world is plastic. And now here comes their son, Walt Jr., who is disabled. That's not an accident. He comes into the room on his crutches, and he is a great kid, but he's disabled. And when Skylar criticizes him for being late, he says, "There's no hot water again." And Walter and Skylar look down at the table because what? Why is there no hot water? Because they can't afford a hot water heater. Everything in the scene is about how it's disappointing. And so she tells him to eat the bacon, eat the veggie bacon. Now they go to the school. Even the car he drives is a vomit green Pontiac Aztec. The class disses him. There's an alpha male couple in there that won't pay attention to his lecture. We're still in the B storyline, which is, can Walt take care of his family? That's the B storyline question. The answer is no. He cannot take care of his family. Not at all. This gorgeous couple makes out in the back. When he tells them to stop, they just diss him. And then we see Walt go to his second job, which is working at a car wash. And not only is he working at a car wash, but his boss now tells him, "Walter, I'm short-handed today. Go out and do wipe downs." Walter now has to go from behind the cash register to wiping down a car. And guess whose car he wipes down? That gorgeous alpha male couple from the high school. Now they take pictures of him, laugh at him for being a car cleaner, and put them on Instagram. Oh my God, Walter White is washing cars. Walt White is being humiliated again and again and again, and it ends with a surprise birthday party where we see his ultimate humiliation, but we also return to the A storyline. What is it? Walt's brother-in-law, Hank, who is a DEA agent. And by the way, guys, if you want to make an anti-hero sympathetic, surround him with bigger a-holes than he is. Hank is a blowhard who has made fun of Walt for years, and today he does the same thing. He steals Walt's beer and he says, "Walt, you got a brain the size of Wisconsin. We're not going to hold that against you. Ha ha, come here, buddy." He drinks Walt's beer and shows his gun to everybody, right? Not subtle. The kid handles the gun. "Oh, Dad, this is such a big gun." "Yeah, it's a big gun. They give it to men." Walt's just this shrinking little violet in the corner like he's been for 15 years while Hank bloviates. That's the way it's been. That's the way it's always going to be. But now we return to the A story, which is this. On the television, while they all watch, there's Hank busting a drug dealer, and there's a pile of cash. And Walt, who's been in the corner with his beer, slumped over, sees the cash, and his eyes light up. And he says to Hank, Hank, how much money is that? Hank says, well, about 80,000. Really, is that a lot? Nah, nothing. That's nothing. We get that every day. Why don't you come with me on a ride-along? About to get some excitement in your life. And Walt says, no, I can't do that. Now, we go back to the B storyline. Can Walt take care of his family? And it's his birthday. So his wife tries to give him a hand job. And Walter can't get an erection. He can't take care of his family. He has no money. His wife actually stops in the middle of the hand job to celebrate the fact that she won a vase on eBay. And that's Walt's life. Tiny, disappointing, awful, and it's over for him. But now, we end on the C story. When he goes to his car wash job and he's looking at a beautiful girl in a beautiful car, that's the life he never had. He clutches his chest and he falls to the ground. That's our C storyline, which is Walt gonna die? That's how we end the act, on that cliffhanger. Now, when we open on the next act, Walt's getting the news he's gonna die. This is what pushes him forward. This is why we have sympathy for him. He's gonna die. But he's so disconnected from his own life that he just tells the doctor, I heard, I'm gonna die in a year or so, but you've got mustard on your collar. He goes home. And now he does something surprising. He lies to his wife. Skylar asks him, is anything wrong? He says, no, nothing. We're seeing him reveal a new facet of himself we've never seen. He's a liar. But now, back at the car wash, when Bogdan orders him to go out and do wipe downs again, we're seeing him change. He tells Bogdan to go screw himself, knocks everything off the counter, and leaves. Walter is changing, but he's an anti-hero. Now, what is the definition of an anti-hero? An anti-hero is someone who becomes evil for sympathetic reasons. This is why we like him. This is Michael Corleone in The Godfather. This is Harvey Dent in Dark Knight. We have to have sympathetic reasons to like an anti-hero. We have sympathy for Walt because we've seen that he's going to die. Now, at the end of the act, he calls Hank and he says, Hank, can I come on that ride-along? Can I see you bust some drug dealers? Walt is changing. And in Act 3, we open with Walt in the back of Hank's car while Hank makes racist jokes about the people who are about to be busted. Then we see the guys busted, and as we see Hank bust these amphetamine dealers, Walt looks out of the car and he sees from the next house over his former student Jesse jumping out of a window and a naked woman throwing his jeans. This is the D storyline, and the D storyline here is, will Jesse and Walter become co-conspirators? And as we see Walter watch Jesse jump in his car, Walter comes on the license plate and says, Captain Crunch. And he thinks, I am going to follow Jesse around. Jesse flees the scene, and that night Walter shows up at Jesse's house and says to him, you and I are going to cook meth together. And Jesse's like, what, are you kidding me? Come on, Mr. White. You're my high school teacher. You don't want to do that. Walt says, either that or you go to prison because I turn you in. That is the new Walter, the tough Walter, the Walter we're going to see through the entire 7-year run of the show. He is a different guy. And the D storyline question, will Walt and Jesse become friends, is answered, it looks like they're gonna. Now, we end the act not on that, but on a part where it makes the audience stand up and cheer. Walt and Skylar take their son to the mall to get jeans. And as they put these jeans on their disabled son, these 3 big jocks start making fun of the son. Mommy, my big boy pants. They're awful. And Skylar sees it. And she wants Walt to do something about these bullies. But what does he do? He leaves the store like a wimp, forcing Skylar to start to say to the son, okay, son, I'm going to go take care of these guys. But as she does, Walt bursts in the front of the store, walks right up to these three guys that are all 3 feet taller than him and says, come on, take your best shot. Come on, take your best shot. Get out of here, you stupid little twits. And these huge guys actually melt away. Walt's suddenly becoming a strong guy, and we're standing up and cheering him. Even Skylar is shocked and a little turned on, because this is the new Walter. So we end the act with the B storyline question, will Walt take care of his family? You bet he will. He's tough. He's new. Guys, is he going to become a criminal? Yes, but the secret of great story is to make us empathize with someone who's doing bad things. Walt steps in. Act 4